So this video is on section 3.2, going over radical expressions and equations. So we're going to be focusing on radicals that have only one versus in your homework you might have a problem that has two radicals on it, but really in this class we are only going to be focusing on one radical. So we're going to solve a bunch of examples like that. So probably do about 3 or 4 problems based on what we learned today, or it was really last week, and then also reviewed in class today on. So let's do this example. So how do I simplify this? We always know that if we want to simplify a radical, we have to square both sides. So when you square a radical, it becomes without the radical goes away. And then I want to expand the right-hand side because we have square, that means we have 2 of them. Combine like terms, and then we put it back where we had it before. And now what I want to do is I want to get everything onto one side to put in the correct radical form. So I do that by moving these 2 over. And I don't move the other side over because it would make my x squared negative, and I don't want that. So move that 4x over to this side, becomes minus 4x, and then minus 21 equals 0. So now we combine like terms. So 6x minus 4x gives me what? That's going to be plus 2x. And then 9 minus 21 is going to be 12. So minus 12. And then what can we do? Well, I'm going to factor. So what numbers will multiply to give me negative 12 and add to give me 2? All right. Well, 2 numbers are 6 and 2, but that wouldn't work because we have 2 small numbers. Let's try 4 and 3. And then in this case, the 4 needs to be positive and the 3 needs to be negative. So we get x plus 4 and x minus 3 equals 0. So we know that our x will be negative 4 here and x equals 3. Now we need to check our work. So let's check for negative 4. So we're going to put it back into the original equation in the x position. I'm thinking of another problem. Okay. So negative 4 plus 3 gives me 1, but negative 1, make sure you keep the sign. You have negative 16 plus 21. Negative 16 plus 21 gives me 5. Well, the square root of 5 is probably going to stay the same. Yeah, it's going to be a decimal. So the square root of 5 does not equal negative 1, so it doesn't work. What about 3? Does 3 work? Let's try this one. So we get 6 on this side, 12 plus 21 on this side. We get 33. Well, let's see. Does the square root of 33 equals 6? Let's see. Square root 33 going to be 5.7, but when you round up, it's 6. So this is going to be 5.7, but rounded up is 6, so it does work. So we know that 3 is our solution. All right, let's try another one. 2. So 3x plus 10 equals x plus 4. Again, we're going to square both sides. So it's going to become the same steps every single time. The radical is going to go away. So the next two problems I'm going to go a little bit faster through because it's the same process. You're welcome to just follow along. So x squared plus 4x plus 4x, and then that will become plus 16. Let's check my work. Yes. Put that back over here. Now we can move everything to one side. Minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. So now we can combine like terms. So 8 minus 3. Let's see, gives me, should be 5. So it should be x squared plus 5x. And then 16 minus 10 should be 6 equals 0. Again, this one was easily factorable, so 6 and 5. Multiply to 6 and add to 5. So the two numbers that will only work is 2 and 3, but they both have to be positive. So that means x equals minus 2 and x equals minus 3 after we equal to 0. So let's find out what our solutions are to this one. Did they both work? Okay, so check. Let's do x minus 2 here and check x. And then if you want to, if I'm doing these problems, what you can do is you can try to solve them first and then re-watch after you've solved to see if you got it correct. It's a great way to see if you're doing it right in the first try. And if you're not, that means you just gotta practice some more. Okay, so square root 3 times negative 2 plus 10 negative 2 plus 4. So negative 2 plus 4 gives me 2. And then, so negative 6 plus 10 gives me the square root of 16, negative square root of 16. But did I do that right? I don't think I did. Because 6 plus 10, negative 6 plus 10 actually gives me 4. And then square root of 4 is going to be 2. So that means this does work. So same thing, it's easy to make an easy mistake if you don't add the correct, or add them correctly. Okay, so then let's try minus 3. So let's do 3 minus 3. Okay, minus 3 plus 4 gives me 1. And then we have negative 9 plus 10. So negative 9 plus 10 is 1. And the square root of 1 is going to be just 1. So we know that 1 is equal to 1. Oops. So both of these solutions will work. So that is our answer. Okay, so let's do one more. Okay, let's do one more. And this will be the same process again. And if you want, I would pause the video after I write it down here, and you can try completing it on your own. So I'm just going to take a little pause here before I start. Okay, welcome back. So go ahead and solve this problem. So again, square both sides. Move everything to the other side. So this has gotten really repetitive, so it should make sense by this third problem. Four minus 5x gives me what? Okay. So 4 minus 5 will give me -1. Well, let me see. So I just get minus 1x. And then what about 4 minus 6? So minus 2 equals 0. So this one's really easy to factor. So 2 and 1 are our numbers, and then our 2 needs to be negative and our 1 needs to be positive. So now let's check our solutions. So let's check. Let's check the first one. Well, x equals 2 here, and then we'll check the other one here. Two plus 2 is 4. 10 plus 6 gives me 16. Square root 16 is 4. So we know this is gonna work. So check mark. I was trying to make it not true. And then let's do the next one. So minus 1 plus 2 is 1. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. But did I do that right? No, because it shouldn't be 6. I tried to add. Isn't that funny? It should be minus 5. So minus 5 plus 6. So that should be 1. Square root of 1 equals 1. So that means 1 equals 1. And that works. So that means both of these are solutions. So that is 3.2.